Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is my top paint color to go for any interior design style. It's a soothing and calm greige paint color that works beautifully in any corner of your home in any interior design style. So if you're looking for a very timeless and sophisticated paint color for your home, look no further. Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is a beautiful greige paint color that would never go out of trend. Wait a minute, have I already discussed with you what a greige paint color is? Well, a greige paint color is basically an amalgamation of grey and beige all together. It's a beautiful color category, it's timeless, it's versatile, and will never make your home feel bored or monotonous. In general, greiges can either be warm or cool, majorly depending upon the underlying undertone. And the undertones could either be grey or beige. And in this case, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is purely a warm greige paint color. However, if you're looking to use this paint color in your home, let me tell you that it may not be very easy. Whether you're looking to use this color as a whole house color scheme or using this paint color in a specific space, let me tell you, the sneaky undertones of Drift of Mist might be surprising in some lighting conditions. All in all, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is a popular greige paint color and you're quite likely to find a ton of inspiration online. I have personally used this paint color in a couple of projects and I have personally loved the total feel and look of this paint color. So let's get started with what this color has to offer you and how you can best use this paint color in your home, or whether it's the right option for you or not. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, this is Nishtha from Nish Online Interior Design, Paint Color Consultation and Home Decor Content Writing. So Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is a warm and cozy greige paint color. It has a perfect blend of beige as well as grey, or I would say it has a perfect balance of warmth as well as a touch of crispness to it. Yes, this paint color is neither very warm nor very cool. So if you actually compare a swatch of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist with Sherwin-Williams Accessible Beige or Sherwin-Williams Passive, you would see that this color somewhere falls on the medium end of the scale. It's not too warm, not too cool, but definitely offers the best of both worlds. And that is why I call this color an absolute versatile beauty. Because whether you have warm toned color palette or a cool toned color palette, this paint color will never disappoint you as far as you know the undertone. Okay, I'm not going to keep you waiting on the undertones, so let's get started with what Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist has hidden underneath. Well, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist has a deep and very sneaky green undertone. However, the green undertone in this paint color is not very dominant. It's very subdued, subtle and very underlying. So if you have surrounding green paint colors in your home, let's say Sherwin-Williams Evergreen Fog, Retreat, Pewter Green, Sea Salt, this color is definitely a yes to pair with. Alright, so I'm going to disclose where the green undertone might come up. If you have a room that faces a large front or back lawn, this paint color is bound to showcase a teeny tiny tinge of green. Whereas in the north, south, east, west facing rooms in general, this color may either come off grey or beige. Homeowners are often confused about what Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist originally is, whether it's a beige color or a grey color. Well, in my books, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist is purely tucked somewhere between beige and grey. It's not a true beige color, it's not a true grey color, and that is why I call it a perfect greige paint color. It falls somewhere between the warmth and the crispness, but when you observe closely, it has just a very tiny tinge of warmth, hence not too warm, but it has a tiny tinge of crispness to balance the whole color together. Even though this color falls on the warmer end of the scale, but in the north facing rooms or let's say the east facing rooms, you can expect this color to look slightly grey as compared to the south or the west facing room. Alright, moving on, let's discuss what the Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist LRV is. Well, LRV stands for light reflectance value, and that determines how light or dark a paint color is. So whenever you're choosing a paint color for your home, don't ignore this value because it's very important. It's going to give you an idea of how light or dark a paint color is, whether it's medium tone, whether it's dark tone, how much depth it's going to offer to your space. Let me tell you a little trick here. Whenever you're looking for a paint color on the walls, just remember a paint color is bound to tone down itself by 1 or 2 tones down as compared to the color on the swatch. So let's say if you really like this paint color on the swatch, it's pretty, it's calm, and it has a perfect amount of depth that you're craving for, just consider that that swatch is bound to look slightly lighter on the walls. So in that case, especially for the exterior walls, you can actually choose 1 or 2 tone darker so the color has ample amount of depth to it. Okay, I think I really diverted from this topic, but let's discuss the Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist LRV is 69. And that means that this paint color definitely falls on the lighter to medium lighter end of the scale. In my books, I would personally either call this paint color a lighter greige or a lighter grey, not a lighter beige though, and a darker off-white. So this color can also be termed as a darker off-white since it's comparatively a couple of tones darker as compared to Sherwin-Williams Alabaster or Sherwin-Williams West Highland White. On the other hand, this color is slightly on the lighter greige end when you compare it against Sherwin-Williams, let's say Repose Grey or Sherwin-Williams Accessible Beige. Like I mentioned earlier, that Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist may not be a very easy color to work with. So now that we know the sneaky green undertones and we know the LRV of 69, let me reveal 2 important things you should know before painting your home in Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Well, number 1, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist may come off very dull, flat and dingy in a room with very little natural light. I understand that the LRV 69, it falls on the lighter to medium lighter end of the scale, but this color has a very subdued look which can end up looking very dull with very little natural light. On the other hand, if a room has excessive pouring in natural light, even in that case, this color can tend to wash off the undertones. So you have to be very careful where you intend to use this paint color. There has to be an optimum amount of natural light, not too much, not too less. Homeowners often wonder whether Drift of Mist can be used as a whole house color scheme. And I would say yes, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist can be used as a whole house color scheme if your house is comparatively medium to larger size and has optimum natural light pouring in even in the hallways as well as all the rooms. Yes, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist can be used on all the common walls of your home, whether it's the hallway, the open concept layout, your living, dining, kitchen. This color can be a great fit for such spaces. Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist can be used as a beautiful neutral or base. So base is something that you use along with whites, and neutral is something that can be used as an alternative to white, but not an accent definitely because it's lighter tone and it's not going to make any bold statement in your space. Here's a well-curated pre-made color palette that I have created for Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist on Etsy as well as my website. It includes all the exact colors that pair with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist, including how and where to use this paint color in your whole house color palette. I have included 5 color palettes with Drift of Mist and complementary hues, along with how to use each of these paint colors in various areas of your home. You'll also get a material, fabric and sheen guide along with this palette. So, are you wondering where to use Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist in your homes? Well, Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist can be used in the living room walls, all the common walls of your home, the dining room walls, the kitchen cabinets, the foyer cabinets, the laundry room cabinets, the bedroom walls, the exterior walls, wall paneling, bathroom walls, the entryway door, exteriors as well as interiors, and the ceiling and trims. Now comes one of my absolute favorite topics to talk about. Now that we've discussed the various whereabouts and howabouts of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist, the undertones, the LRV, where it can be used, how it can be used, let's get started with what other colors best pair with this paint color. Here's a list of Sherwin-Williams soft whites and off-whites that go with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Here's a list of Sherwin-Williams blue greys that go with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Moving on, here's a list of Sherwin-Williams greens that go with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Well, let me tell you, taupe and greige paint colors work amazingly well with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Since Drift of Mist falls on the lighter end of the scale, you can best complement this color with darker tones, with darker taupes, with darker greiges to make the best pair. Here's a list of taupe and greige paint colors that complement Drift of Mist. And lastly, here's a list of Sherwin-Williams greys and black paint colors that go with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. So, are you ready to flaunt those walls and cabinets and entryway door in Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist? Are you looking to use this paint color in your living room, bedroom or the kitchen? Well, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below, and I would love to see some pictures if you actually intend to use this paint color in your home. And now let's talk about another very important aspect of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Well, homeowners often wonder what are the other alternatives of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Well, some of them really adore the look of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist, but don't prefer the green undertone, the sneaky green undertone, or even a dull or dingy look of this paint color in their homes. And that is why I'm here to discuss two other alternative paint colors that you can choose instead of Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. And my first option is Sherwin-Williams City Loft. Well, I'm not sure if you can see that clearly on the screen here, but Sherwin-Williams City Loft is another warm greige paint color. It has an LRV of 70, which means it's slightly lighter than Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist, which stands at 69. Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist has a teeny tiny green undertone, like I mentioned earlier, but City Loft does not. Hence, a win-win situation. So City Loft is a pure neutral warm greige color. It has a perfect amount of crispness to it, and it doesn't showcase green undertone in any lighting conditions. Another similar paint color on my list is Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Grey. Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Grey is a mid-tone greige paint color which may have a teeny tiny green undertone, but that is again not dominant at all. This color has an LRV of 60, which as opposed to Drift of Mist stands at 69, is definitely a tone or two darker as compared to Drift of Mist. So if you're looking for a paint color that adds more depth to your walls and doesn't wash away the undertones in excessive natural light, Agreeable Grey could be one of the best choices to pick from. So now that we've discussed the similar colors, let's get started with what are the best trim paint colors to go with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. As usual, one of my favorites, top pick to go is Sherwin-Williams Pure White. Sherwin-Williams Pure White is a very soft and neutral white paint color. It's very creamy and subdued, hence my number one choice to go for any trim, sealing and molding. In this case, Sherwin-Williams Pure White will help tone down the green undertone of Drift of Mist. Hence, this is something that you can absolutely consider. It's creamy, it's soft and will make your space feel much more welcoming and clean. Another color that you can actually use with Drift of Mist is High Reflective White, but I may warn you that this color will bring up the slight green undertone in the paint color. So if you're looking for a clean and chic look in your home, High Reflective White would be a great option, but my definitely to go color is Pure White for the ceiling trims and moldings. In case you're looking for a black paint color to paint your window frames or the entryway door in, I would recommend that you either choose Tricon Black or Iron Ore. So Tricon Black is a true black paint color. It has an LRV of 3 and it perfectly sits with Drift of Mist, whether on the entryway door or your window frames. Whereas Iron Ore is slightly more muted and a very dark charcoal grey color. If you haven't already, check out my Sherwin-Williams Iron Ore color review here. But this color can equally make a great statement with Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist. Another point that I would like to mention here is, if you're looking for a very monochromatic home, a very modern, minimalist, neoclassical or Scandi type feel in your space, you can even choose Sherwin-Williams Drift of Mist on the ceiling trims and moldings. This monochromatic color palette would be great for any interior design style. It will not feel outdated, hence a great win-win situation even for glam or ultra luxury homes. Lastly, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for a weekly dose of interior decoration, paint color guides and paint color reviews. I'll see you all next Monday. Bye.